Oh my God, guys. Okay, so clearly the lighting is doing me too much. Good evening, guys. I just got this Danish Merrick's makeup thing and I put it on my face. I think I did too much. I used the balm and the other. This is the thing about people that don't wear makeup. We never know when we're doing too much. So clearly, I've done too much here. Ay, ay, ay. But hopefully you can forgive me. And the bright light of the camera will hide and blur out. Oh my god. I feel like I did too much. Oh my god. I feel like I did too much, guys. Hi, good evening. It's a celebration, y'all. Now, I was planning on putting some music on. Hey, Alpha. I was going to put some music on, but I don't want to get copyrighted because we can't do anything in these YouTube spaces, guys. You literally, when I was doing my walks last week, I entered a pub for those of you who were online, and thank you if you were. You know that they copyrighted that video. I had to silence everything, and I think that spoils the videos, especially live. They make it quite complex. So sorry. The celebration music I was listening to, I had to turn that ish off. I had to turn her off. How are you guys? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Come in, come in, come in, come in. It's a roundup. 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 Hey, it's a roundup. Hi, Andrea. Guys, I need you to really work with me today. We need to help. I need your collaboration. Please load the chat. Please offload the chat. This is a roundup. This is a celebration. I don't mind if you have anything to spare for the end of the year. Any little bit of, tokens of appreciation is always appreciated, no matter what it is. And yeah, I have my tokens of appreciation for the amazing people who have joined me. When I started this year, guys, I had maybe what am I saying? I had one follower. And I till today I have no idea who that person was. I feel like it was a bot. Because the first time I posted on my channel, if you check, and this is me, this is all me. I have another channel that I am properly putting things into playlists. But for whatever reason, I haven't done this one. Guys, I just realized I had over 500 videos. What the F? This is it. This is insane. Isn't that insane? How is it possible that in less than a year, I have over 500 videos? This is video shorts. That goes to show how much nonsense and God knows I didn't react to every single nonsense I saw, but it shows how much nonsense, guys, the press floods our timeline with. If you imagine if you had to address every single article, every single blogger, I would have blown maybe 20,000 or more in a year. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. That is the sheer amount of unique information that comes out about this couple, a couple we rarely see in the media, a non-tax funded, non-public official. These are private citizens for all intents and purposes. The only reason they are popular, ladies and gentlemen, is Prince Harry is the son of a king. That's it. That's it, ladies. Oh, thanks, Andrea. That is it. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's ridiculous. But whatever happens, this would not have been possible without you. This channel does not exist without you. I've had this channel since 2014, posted one video, panicked, ran away, didn't come back until 2025. And if you look at my shorts, I'll start putting things into playlists now. If you look at my shorts, guys, you will notice that my very first shorts were about Blake Lively. Because that was, and I still stand by the Blake Lively thing. The Blake Lively thing was just insane. And of course, I thought, okay, you know what? If you have courage to speak up about Blake Lively, you can find courage to talk about Duchess Meghan. And here we are, December 30th. I was going to do this December 31st, but I may not be home. I may be at some friend's place ringing in the new year. And we need to have this roundup this year. We need to. I cannot see the 1st of January 2026 without doing the roundup. So let me start by appreciating each and every one of you, those who can make it, those who couldn't make it, those who come into, who don't, who, what in whatever way you support this channel, whether it's just watching my videos, whether it's commenting, whether it's watching my videos and commenting, whether it's, you know, recommending it for people to subscribe. Thank you deeply. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. I've learned so much from you. I've learned so much from the squad. I've learned so much from following this case. I believe that thanks to the Meghan and Harry situation, I've become way more media savvy. I always felt that I was, but guys, there were so many things I took for granted because the way the machinery behind the Sussex hate campaign, honest to God, I need somebody to do a PhD about it. Even a master's, I don't care. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be. The weaponization of democratized tools to harass, spread misinformation, lie about a couple. I've never seen anything like it. It's a type of onslaught that is unprecedented. And what I love about it is while it has been quite successful creating all these very noisy, clickbaity echo chambers, the Sussex squad will not be here without it. This organic, multinational, multicultural, diverse, multi-gender group of individuals who every day use their platform to combat lies and misinformation on X, on YouTube, on TikTok. Mwah. As in a kiss to all of you, a kiss for how, because you guys go so hard for the squad. Sometimes you guys have attacked me, and I'm like, what? But you know what? I never get angry because to me, that level of passion just goes to show how dedicated we are. We don't know these people. We may never meet these people. We may never get to meet Harry and Meghan. We may never even get to see them in person. But the fact that people have said, I'm going to give up my online anonymity in some way, shape, or form to respond, to clarify, to push back, hell, to even drag people, that's incredible. And I continue to say, this is what I call stochastic resistance. Just like we have stochastic terrorism with the whole anti-Meghan and anti-Sussex ban. I'm glad that we have people who have said the exact same tools that you plan to use to hurt this couple, we are going to use this same tools to push back. And guys, if you don't, I want you to be encouraged. Do not think it's not working. We have literally, I'm not joking, I think we have literally run off so many journalists of X. I'm serious. A lot of journalists do not post, or if they post, they don't post with the profiles they started with, because we tear people apart. And that is it. Because that's how you do it. Otherwise, people will be going around saying things about Harry and Meghan. And don't forget, Harry and Meghan, their children, their family members, wasn't it just 3 weeks ago? Carol Malone, with no hesitation, no embarrassment, nothing, came on a nationally syndicated network to tell the whole world that Tom Markle raised his child while Meghan's mom was in jail. And when she was challenged, she doubled down. And then what I love about that apology is how humiliating it was, because she literally had to tell the whole world, because I love the squad. Every other day, people are reposting it. She literally had to tell everybody in the world, guys, or at least those who are paying attention to it, that in 2025, as a so-called journalist, she came on air to report information she did not verify, she did not sense check, she found it on the internet. Do you know how embarrassing that is for somebody that is considered is for someone who calls themselves a journalist. Don't forget, journalists are supposed to have ethics, ethical bounds. And while the British press do whatever they like, nobody, nobody, let's keep it 500%, even tabloids, nobody likes to do that type of a retraction. And I love how the threat is still hanging in the air that Doria Ragland has not decided if she wants to sue that B's ass. And I love this for you, Carol Malone. I love this for you. I love that that threat is hanging there because, like I said, exactly that's the part for one. The fact that she had to come online and tell the whole world that she went on the air twice, and it's not just twice, but multiple times, to repeat information she saw on the internet. That is so embarrassing. She killed her own credibility and hurt herself. And I was asking someone that it's fascinating we've not seen her since. I'm not saying that that cretin is not still going to come out because best she will come back. But I love that maybe she's had to like because again it's one of those embarrassing things that you do and you have to take a step back. And I think what also helped was how organic the backlash was. It wasn't just the squaddies. Every Carol Malone has been pissing off a lot of people for a very long time. Guys, they dragged her ass. It was amazing. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is the hate train is persistent. You saw on my channel today that, and I didn't even see it until I saw it on Sheila, where they were saying that according to some random poll called Ranker, Meghan is the most hated celebrity on the internet. And I was like, over Diddy and the pedophile? Really? And again, that organic pushback, people are like, you cannot be serious. And you know what I love about it? The hate train has become so extreme and cartoonish that even random people who may have been, you know how you know something is like this, but it's gotten to the point where even random people are like, okay, calm down. The fuck? Yeah, you don't like her, but it's one thing not to like someone, but to go this hard for someone you don't know, the fuck? I love that everyday normal people are beginning to call it out that this is bonkers. Now, am I saying, and I think the more they keep on pushing the hate train, the more they're killing their own credibility because it's like every day, for every action, for everything. And that leads me quite nicely into why this has been an MFing wonderful year for the Sussexes. Please drop a like and a celebration emoji in the chat so that we can celebrate the Sussexes. Guys, please, I need your help. Please like this chat. I need you to engage with the chat, like the chat, like the chat, like the chat, so that the algorithm picks it up. And even if it's just a like the chat, maybe do a super chat if you can. These things help the algorithm. It helps people know this is popular so that people who are not necessarily in my FYP can pick up the live. So please like if you're online. If you can, please just hit the like button, like, subscribe so that I can get more people engaging with the chat, engaging with my channel. So yeah, this has been a year. It's been a year, guys. And what I'm going to do is give us a quick run through from the beginning because the thing is, a year is a long time, you know. If you think about it, 365 days, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to bear with me. So because this particular room is my art room, I don't have a dedicated desktop. My desktop table is downstairs in my office. So this is my recording room. So I want to keep it more, organic and keep it simple, ladies. So please continue to like the chat. I don't ask you for too much, guys. Like. Drop your emoji. Celebrate with the Sussexes. It's kind of like just an amazing year. So I'm just getting all my notes. Getting all my notes together a lot. I had to go back and start looking for every single thing that happened this year. So what I'm going to do now is, and I listed everything out. I what I'm Oh yes, oh yes. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't worry, we're still going to do a shout out to the subscribers who have made this experience. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to start off chronologically, running through the Sussexes as a group. This will include their philanthropic work, all of that. We'll start with that because that's the important part. Then the next thing we're going to do is break down the projects by individual person. We'll start after that. We'll talk about Meghan. Then we'll talk about Harry. Then we'll talk about this page, and we'll drag the royal family a bit because it's fun. Ah yes, exactly, Alpha. Started with that. So I think what I'll do, I didn't plan on doing it before, but for those of us that I knew, I want to just give you a quick run through of the Sussexes. I'm going to go back a bit because my channel just started this year. So let me cover some of the stuff they've been doing. Because guys, if we look at it, it's not just the year. If we think about it, this is the fifth year since the Sussexes left the hellhole that is the British royal family. So I've decided to add a bit more information around what exactly have the Sussexes been doing since they left. Like I said, following the exact same order, we're going to start with the group together, and then we're going to go individually. Then we're going to get down to the channel, and then talk about, and then we're going to just drag the royal family as well, their key scandals from there. So let's start with I'm going to call this the reset year. So the reset year 2020, Harry and Meghan announced they were going to step back as senior working royals because the mail, the press, everybody has lost their bloody mind. They were going to, and what this implied for some of the haters was the loss of taxpayer funding and royal security. This is when they began their financial independence, the Rangers. And in that time, from spring to summer 2020, they relocated to California. Shout out to Tyler Perry, Oprah, and everybody who they did not disclose that financially, emotionally, and mentally helped them out. Hi, Patricia. They established Archewell, which is named after Hello Archie, as an umbrella for philanthropy, media production, and audio projects. A lot of big wins. And from this timeline I've given, the big wins were complete independence from royal structures, retain global name recognition while controlling their output. That's the best way to say it. And this is what pisses off the Rangers, because they keep on coming into our chats and saying they should give up their title. Get the F out of my face. I mean, they don't have to give up their title. The fact that they can literally be called Harry and Meghan today, titleless, it won't make a difference. They will still be popular. Then what? Then what, the Rangers? What do you want them to do next? Scrub our collective memories? I wish they could, but they can't because you won't stop talking about them. Anyway, 2021, the narrative, controlling, and first major impact. So if you guys remember, in 2021, we had, we had the media, mental health, and philanthropy, Oprah. Oprah interview became the big cultural movement. There's been a lot of misinformation about that interview. And have you guys noticed that it feels like that interview has been scrubbed from the internet? Anyway, what that interview did, if you ignore all the nonsense, was it forced international discussions on racism in historical institutions, mental health, and media ethics. And guess what they dragged Meghan for? If you look, for those of us who remember that interview, Meghan allowed Oprah to come to her own conclusions, and Prince Harry was the one who told Meghan about people being concerned about Archie's skin tone. But guess who they are dragging for racism? Meghan. Anyway, 2021, the projects. Apple TV docuseries, The Me You Can't See with Oprah, that was with Prince Harry. That was a mental health focus. COVID-19 vaccine equity advocacy with Global Citizen, Archewell funds food insecurity programs, and women-led community initiatives. Wins. Now, what I loved about it was they successfully reframed public narrative on their own terms, cemented Meghan as a mental and equity advocate, and demonstrated Actual as an active funding body, not just symbolic, aka money laundering, like the Royal Foundation. If you don't believe me, come at me. 2022. That's where you begin to see a shape in structure, awards, and Netflix. From advocacy to scaled output. From early 2022, actual financial filings show multi-million dollar fundraising, grants issued to support refugees, digital safety groups, and women-led non-governmental organizations. Awards. They won their NAACP Image Awards, the President's Award, RFK Ripple of Hope Award. That was where Meghan won that beautiful dress that Kate copied. Netflix Live to Lead releases spotlighting global change makers, the Invictus Games, and this is something that I really hope comes back to Netflix. I hope Netflix gets a chance to stream the Invictus Games. I really hope Harry can get that win, because after the nonsense, let me not get distracted. Invictus Games, we had Invictus Games in 2022, and of course the wins that came out of it, the civil rights recognition from civil rights institutions, clear alignment with media projects and values, Invictus, which continues to be the biggest win for the trash royal family. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is nothing more impactful in our generation than that Invictus ceremony. And I would say it's probably the most impactful thing the royal family has done in the past 90 years. Imagine if they had had the Invictus immediately after World War II, guys. Or World War One. Anyway, 2023, digital safety and parent advocacy. I love this because I've labeled this the quiet power year. Key initiative, the launch of the Parents Network under Archewell supports families affected by online harm and social media exploitation. I think we can agree that Harry and Meghan are very well placed in this. Moves Sussex advocacy into policy adjacent territory. So it's not just talking, they were actually lobbying the government, speaking with senior officials, actually trying to do some good in the world. Royal family, where you at? Media, Heart of Invictus, Netflix premieres focus on wounded veterans, resilience, and recovery, widely praised for authenticity and restraint. Awards, the Gracie Awards, Media Excellence, Miss Foundation Women of Vision Award, Meghan. Shift from celebrity advocacy to issue-driven infrastructure, yes. Meghan recognized independently of Harry. That was amazing. That was true. Actual gains credibility in child safety and tech harm spaces. 2024 consolidation service. For those of you who may have missed it, this was the year the idiots in the media were screaming. Do you guys remember when the Telegraph actually had a page? If on their first page, where is Meghan? And you're telling me these people don't have mental health issues. Anyway, less noise, more depth happened last year. Activities, continued expansion of the Parents Network events in the US and the UK. World Mental Health Day public engagements. Actual funding disclosures. Take note of this, guys. Actual funding disclosures show consistent charity giving. This is for the people that are saying that Actual is in deficit. Did you expect a charitable organization to be in profits? Does that make sense to you? Anyway, controversial moments, because unfortunately we have to have those. The Pat Tillman Award for Service, which Harry more than deserves. Public debate but reinforces veteran-focused legacy. What I loved was there was a thread when, and again, it was our favorite stalker, Caroline Graham, used this beautiful moment as an attack against Harry. She literally went over to the Pat Tillman's mom to go and piss her, to get her to say bad things about Harry and say that Harry didn't deserve it. What did come out of it though, many people didn't know that Harry was the patron of Invictus. They found out that day. So Caroline Graham, you can go F yourself. And again, we are seeing examples of where despite that stupid article that she released, she is clearly a weapon fashioned against Harry and Meghan. Silly woman. Imagine being a journalist and this is all you do. Anyway, the wins: sustained relevance without scandal-driven output, yes. Maintained philanthropic continuity amid intense scrutiny. Also, last year, Harry and Meghan visited Nigeria, visited Colombia, and the media lost their mind. One of the most embarrassing moments for the British media so far, I have to say. As in, they've done a lot. God knows they've done a lot. But I have to give them, but sometimes you have to do where props are due. Last year was their opus. Yeah, that was their big moment. Screaming, bitching, and complaining because Harry and Meghan were invited via the Invictus Games to go to Nigeria. Not only did they insult my country and call us every name under the sun, the British ambassador to Nigeria didn't say a word. The Commonwealth group didn't say a word. Your king didn't say a word while my country was being pilloried because Harry and Meghan went to visit. And not only that, they disrespected the Vice President of Nigeria, intentionally misinterpreted her words to make it sound like she was mocking Meghan when she wasn't. And as a consequence of that nonsense, even though the British press were not invited, they were further banned from attending the Colombia visit. In fact, Harry and Meghan did exactly what they should have done. They removed sound. Of course, the British media was bitching and complaining about that, and they came with only one reporter. Like I said, you see, when somebody gives you a finger and you decide to stuff your entire elbow into it, they are well within their rights to send boundaries. It's very good that everybody understands the British media is trash. Utter and complete nonsense. Otherwise, what the British media did, intentionally misinterpreting the words of the Vice President and insulting Nigeria, should have been a major international incident. But because this is a useless country and the Commonwealth is a joke, it didn't matter. Anyway, what came out of the Nigerian visit for Duchess Meghan is she was given her Royal Highness delegation when 3 Nigerian kings from different kingdoms recognized her Nigerian ancestry. So I tell the British media and the Dutch and the Rangers, remove Harry and Meghan's title. Meghan is still her Royal Highness. Choke. And of course, in Colombia, we got to hear the very intelligent, very beautiful, very graceful Meghan speak Espanol. We can barely get Billy Idol and Skeletor to speak English. Right. And then, of course, that's 2024. Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. Now, 2025, let's get to it. This was a very good year, very visible year. But like I said, we are focusing on their philanthropic work. This is the institutional builder phase, Archewell transition. So as you guys know, Archewell shifted from Archewell to Archewell Philanthropy, signaling long-term sustainability, less personality-driven charity, yes, and a broader global remit. I am very excited to see what they plan to do next year. I have a feeling we're going to get more world tours. Where do you guys think they're going to go? Let me know in the chat. And of course, let's talk about Netflix. Yes, despite the haters, Netflix renewed their first. Netflix did not give the same upfront 100 million or more deal that they were giving a lot of people initially. They, in keeping with the current climate, gave Harry and Meghan and the Archewell Productions a first look deal. And what that means is documentaries, TV shows, whatever, Netflix is going to get first right of refusal, which is amazing, by the way, because what that means is most like, look, if Netflix says now we don't want it and they go shopping, let's not deceive ourselves. If Netflix says no, the Rangers and everybody else, you are delusional if you think no other streaming platform is going to jump on them. Anyway, first look deal. The new slate now includes With Love, Meghan, lifestyle, soft power branding. We'll get to it. We will get to that, don't worry. Family friendly and international projects, guys. Don't forget we have a romance production coming. Very excited. Humanitarian giving, contributions to children affected by war and displacement, Ukraine and Gaza. We'll get to that. Wins, Netflix renewal signals continued commercial value. Cry more. Actual position as durable, not reactive. Love that. Meghan re-enters lifestyle space on her own terms. So, as at the end of the year, how are things looking? They still are not being funded by the royal family. No UK institutional protection. Still globally recognized. Still able to fundraise, produce, and influence. Strategic wins. Controlled exit from monarchy without disappearing. Built parallel institutions instead of relying on titles, which is just incredible, and shifted from controversy-led visibility to project-led relevance. So I want to quickly say something about this. If you recall, 2024, we didn't really hear from Meghan, right? Didn't really hear from Meghan or Harry, and people were screaming and bitching and complaining they're getting a divorce. What they were doing was, unfortunately, people have, as much as possible, they spent 2022, 2023, and even 2021 attaching Meghan and Harry's name with controversy. What Harry and Meghan wanted to do was take a step back. Let us stop being the story and let our work be the story. And it worked. Harry and Meghan ignored the press, the rooms and the individuals that matter, which are the rooms and individuals that have hard and soft power, noticed. They noticed. Harry and Meghan have set a blueprint on how any member of the royal family can remove themselves from that family, set up their own thing. That's why I said privilege. When you have that type of privilege, you treat it like a burden, not like an entitlement. But you treat it like a burden, you humanize yourself. Being human is not difficult. You don't have to force things. You don't have to be like William and touching black people in a way that is very uncomfortable for all parties involved. You don't have to look for a place with black people to go and take your annual photo up. We see you, William. You do the things you do because you genuinely care. And is there some visibility? Is there some intention to it? Yes. Hello. That is what you do when you have that platform. Everything you do has to be intentional. You are not a celebrity. You are supposed to be using your platform for advocacy, for philanthropy. So every time you pose with a black NGO, that is intentional. When you're standing with children, that is intentional. When you are giving money to help refugees, everything you do is intentional, whether you like it or not. So your moves in public have to be carefully curated. And this also adds to the question, why are they always changing PR? Because of what I just said. Harry and Meghan, through no fault of their own, are hyper visible. I'm very sure if you ask them today, do you want this? They'll say, hell, who wants that type of scrutiny? The hell? They don't have the advantage of Billy Idol, who controls the entire media apparatus of the UK tabloid press, and maybe even some of the mainstream media, right? They don't have that luxury, right? So they have to be very careful. And you see, guys, even when they are being careful, the media still finds a way to make an issue. Harry went to collect his Pat Tillman award. His wife got up and was clapping. Because Serena's sister did not get up and clap, that became news. When Meghan was doing American Riviera Orchard, because she knew exactly what was going to happen, she sent jams to her friends who posted it on their social media as a way to help Meghan market. If you see all the think pieces these people wrote, it was genuinely insane. Only for them. But anyway, don't worry, we'll get to Meghan. So yeah, like I said, Harry and Meghan continue, and it's not just celebrities. They teach me something. We are all learning something here. We are learning from them, right? How to use our platform for good. There are many things I could decide to do on my channel. I could decide to be a troll and drag people mercilessly, but I'm not going to do that because I'm like, look, if Harry and Meghan have taught me nothing, these are real human beings. They might be millionaires, but I always tell people, remember these celebrities you are talking about. This is somebody's child. They are mortal like me and you. Put yourself in that position. Give them grace. The same way we make mistakes, they make mistakes. The same way they have missteps, they have missteps. Yeah? Don't use your platform because you are desperate for clicks and ad revenue to hurt people. These things you do and say online have real world consequences. Do you really want to be that type of a person? And don't for, I always tell people this thing. Karma is not a joke. She may not come when we want her to come, but she is never late. When she gets here, she takes everything down. So yeah, shout out to Harry and Meghan for teaching us resilience and how to focus on delivery with all when it seems like all the media noise is against you. So I'm going to go to Meghan now. Woo! I'm getting my notes ready. Yes, Meghan's page is very long. Y'all, Meghan's page is extremely long. My girl, our favorite biracial black princess had a, when I say Meghan had her renaissance year, this was her renaissance year. Snatched my edges every side since January 1st that she hasn't stopped. And you know what? I respect her. Let me start with myself. Because of the fact that I got sick and tired of people just saying the most nasty things about Meghan. Meghan really got me to really start posting. So shout out to Meghan. I wouldn't be here if not for her this year. So let's get started, guys. Let's start with January to February. Does everybody remember that famous 2025 run on the beach? The British media have no chill. They went on a tirade. They were bitching and complaining. And I was like, why are you guys acting like you're not all kicking your feet and excited that your fave is back? I keep telling you guys, from next year, I'm going to start referring to the British media as the Meg Hive. I don't even think Beyonce fans go this hard. They are her biggest fans. I'm serious. They were excited. As in, I was like, guys, relax. Everybody was excited to see Meghan was back. She quietly re-entered the public conversation on her own terms. No drama, no excess, just 2025 in the sand. She began soft press positioning around her next creative phase, the lifestyle home food community platform. With love, Meghan. Where were you? Please let me know in the chat where you were when Meghan announced that she was releasing With Love, Meghan. Because ladies and gentlemen, I lost my shit. I wouldn't even lie. I was screaming in my house. I was like, oh my god, Meghan is back. I was so excited. I won't lie. I was very, 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 hey, thank you for joining. I was very excited, guys. I was screaming. If you see the way, for the first time in my life, right, I went on Netflix to go and see the way I could bookmark it because that was my first time actually properly seeing Meghan in since Suits, honestly, and even the documentary, seeing her in her own element. It was amazing, right? I have to say it's one of the coolest cultural moments of the year, and I'm so glad it happened in January because it felt like it was just a great year. It was great. It was so good. The trailer dropped and all the Rangers, who are Meghan's biggest fans, they lost their shit. The amount of views that trailer got, I think the only other person who had a similar impact at that time was Beyonce. I'm not joking. Beyonce dropped her trailer for, after her amazing Beyonce Bowl, she dropped a kind of trailer for what was supposed to be her tour announcement before the unfortunate LA fires happened. The amount of views that announcement got and Megan's trailer was just about the same. I think it was about over 50 million. And I'm like, 50 million impression points. What? Hello, welcome to my channel. Hi, Big Boss. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Guys, please engage the chat so that we can build up the algorithm, guys. 2026, my big goal is to build this channel. We need to build up the algorithm. Please subscribe, drop chat, super chat, whatever you can do. Please engage with the chat. Yeah. So yeah, the media coverage. Coverage framed Meghan as strategically resetting her brand, Doi. Commentary noted the contrast between loud critics, yes, claiming she's irrelevant, and major platforms actively backing her. How can somebody be irrelevant and get 50 million impression points from a Twitter view of a trailer? I want you people to know that Meghan didn't spend one cup. I don't think Meghan spent any real money on advertising, by the way. And let me explain why this matters. The way Meghan released, the way Meghan released her next phase, as I call it, right? It set the tone. There was no drama, no clap. It just goes to show that all that time that the media was screaming and frothing and moaning for Meghan, she was doing a lot of work behind the scenes. She was setting up her supply chain, she was building up her relationship with Netflix, she was recording her show. I heard that Meghan recorded with Love Meghan in 2024. So all that time that they were screaming, "Where is Meghan?" she was recording her show. I would like to give an honorable mention to all the derangers in Australia that were trying to say that Harry and Meghan were getting divorced because they were quiet or because they were seeing Harry more than Meghan. All of you need help. Or the special guys, do you remember when they would tell us that they have a Netflix insider that was telling them that Netflix was getting tired of them? You have a Netflix insider, but you didn't know that Meghan was filming a lifestyle show. You had a Netflix insider, but you didn't know that Netflix had become her business partner. We'll get to that, Elfas, don't worry. Yeah. So I was talking just now about how Meghan set the tone, right? How she set the tone. So as you guys know and you remember, there was the LA fires that unfortunately, quite devastating LA fires actually, I have to say. I remember, I'm thinking back to it now. It was shocking. I recall being genuinely shocked that, wow, the amount of destruction. Hopefully anybody in the chat, if you live in LA and you went through that, my deepest condolences. Hopefully you've been able to reset yourself. And if you haven't, I hope you've been able to heal. I can't even imagine waking up and having everything I have burned to the ground, guys. Jesus. And Meghan, because she is a native for LA, went out in her community to help people. I'm going to ignore the dramatics of the press because I knew it. They were so dramatic, guys. And shout out to Elfas because I was going to raise that point because of the LA fires. And this is how I say, guys, I really do believe the ancestors are protecting Meghan. Because as soon as Meghan announced with Love Meghan, I knew that the royal family was going to do something. And it's quite unfortunate that the LA fires happened because thanks to the LA fires happening, Meghan had to postpone her show. And what was lovely about that is it gave her time to take a step back and help her community. But it also served as a wonderful source of embarrassment for the British royal family and all their humiliating activities trying to thwart Meghan. That is when, for the first time in history, Kate suddenly remembered that she had cancer and showed up literally a day before Meghan's show. No other day in the week, Kate. It had to be literally a day before Meghan's show was supposed to air. That's why they couldn't postpone it, because I think Megan announced it the night of, but then she had already booked her surprise trip to the cancer hospital. And guys, for the second time, Kate informed us that she has been delivered. Her cancer is now in remission. The way I rolled my eyes when that happened, I was just rolling my eyes like, of course, Kate, sure. Until the next time you need to use cancer, your cancer is now in remission. And even if, let me even play devil's advocate, imagine if Megan show aired, was Kate actually really thinking that that cancer treatment was going to overshadow Megan? This is a question for Kate fans. With everything you know about the British press, did you genuinely think that Kate announcing that she was in remission was going to overshadow Megan's show? Can you please be for real? You can barely get press even when there's nothing happening in the news as this. Anyway, that was hilarious to me. I rolled my eyes and I kind of dragged Kate, which she rightly deserved. And yeah, it's ooh. But anyway, I'm only going by what she said. She said her cancer is in remission, ergo suggesting that she had cancer. So I guess. Anyway, moving on to better things. So yes, the show was moved, unfortunately, because of the LA fires. Like I said, my deepest condolences and shout out to everybody who survived and was able to support the LA people during that very difficult time. I hope you were able to, find peace and healing over the year and get maybe some of your money and some support from family, friends, and the government. And yeah, very well handled that. Then, of course, March, guys. With Love Megan aired, and your girl lost her damn mind. By your girl, I mean me. Major development. So Netflix started airing With Love Megan. The media framing around this was Netflix does not renew or greenlight projects for charity. Megan retained creative control and executive producer status. Coverage positioned her as a female-led IP, not a personality hire. And that's very important, right? So not only did season 1 air and all the expected vitriol was in the press, literally a few days after, and let me bring this back, guys. Famously, after the Sun went bitching and complaining, telling everybody that we're all this bad, they can't see how Netflix is going to give Megan a season 2. Megan came out to announce season 2. I won't lie, that was the highlight of Q1 for me. One of the funniest days. I'll go back to the video and try and replay it again so that I can remind everyone. I was dying laughing because everybody was so sure Megan was not going to get another season. They were like, it's over. Netflix cannot possibly look at this manufactured negative press and give her a second season. She announced the second season. Guys, I think that second season was the beginning of the end for the Royal Router. I'm serious. Because I will never forget, and I said it on my channel, for almost a week, nobody in the press said a word. They were shocked. They were shocked. And I'm sure what they were doing was they were trying to figure out how to frame it as a bad thing. They only waited for like 3 or 4 days before they found a way to complain about it. Well, okay, fine, she got renewed, but she shot all the episodes at once. Really? So what you're saying is Netflix gave Megan a 2-season order plus a Christmas episode right off the bat, which is a good thing. Netflix can barely keep one season of a show going. They cancel. In fact, Netflix canceled a show that continues to piss me off till today. I haven't forgiven them for that show that they cancelled because it's so hard for me to get into new shows, and for me to get into that show and for them to cancel it, I haven't forgiven them for it. But they gave Megan a 2-season order with a Christmas episode right off the bat. Don't forget, everything we saw this year was filmed last year, including the Christmas episode. Notice how the media didn't say another word after that, right? At least you would think so. You see, when people normally humiliate themselves like that, they go quiet and they change course. But I'm so glad that the British media and the Rangers the shame gene that all of us have, they appear not to have it. So yeah, the idea that Megan is a failure or that Netflix has dropped her was completely undercut by that move. Netflix backed signaled commercial viability and audience confidence. So they didn't even need the season to run before they gave her 2 seasons. I love it. So basically, what Netflix is telling the world is we trust Megan as a standalone creator. That's incredible, by the way. But and don't forget, let's also add this. Netflix has bought over WB and Paramount IP, right? Wait, is it Paramount? WB and which one again? WB and some other, making them the most powerful entertainment house in the world right now. Sorry, in the West. And the CEO himself, let's not forget that the CEO himself retweeted Megan's show on his social media. He doesn't, I don't think he does that for other shows. And the man actually gave an interview promoting and defending Megan's viability as a commercial success. British media, what is your response? Of course they will pretend they didn't see that article. So there's no need. But I'm reminding you so that again, because the British press will never talk about Megan's wins, so we have to. April, right? So let's talk about Azeba. So Megan's and I'll go back slightly. Just before Megan's show aired in March, she came out to let all of us know that Netflix has joined her as her business partners with Azeva. Let me put that for context for the haters. Victoria Beckham has a clothing line that she opened over a decade ago that has been running at a serious loss for years. I believe it was just recently it broke, I think it broke even or it made profits. And that clothing line was most likely supported by her husband's millions. Megan, right off the bat, was able to secure a power broker like Netflix as a silent business partner. Again, further undercutting the BS in the British media that Netflix hates Meghan and Harry. Till tomorrow, I will never know where they got that information from. I don't know who's gardener, of the driver, of the receptionist, of the caretaker, of the gate man that told them that information. I will never know who told them that. It's the exact same thing with when Harry was releasing his book. Somebody said that they sent an email to him. I think it was Becky English. She said she sent an email to the publishing house, and the publishing house did not answer her. She used that to say, Harry, after all the bad press has come out of his book, will never release paperback. They released paperback. If you don't know, say you don't know. It's okay to say you don't know. But they can't do that because they need to make money. So they lie or they say things that are so outrageous, hoping that the Sussexes will respond, which is why, even though I get very irritated, I won't lie, when the Sussexes go quiet, because I believe they allow too many lies to fester. Sometimes silence is the best. Let them embarrass themselves, then come out with the real information. As we say, no leaks in Montecito Electra. So, Meg Hive, aka the British press, as soon as they heard Meghan's IP was now called Azeva, they ran to tell everybody that Meghan changed it to Azeva because of an embarrassing mix-up with copyright with Arrow. That was not the case. Meghan changed it to Azeva because Arrow was, according to her, a word salad, and it constrained her to businesses within Santa Barbara, Montecito, and she wants a global reach. Megan did not say anything about copyright. I will never understand again where these people got copyright information from. If they were saying that how can Megan release her product without copyright, are you aware that you can literally create a product, start selling it while you wait to get your copyright done? I know, it's amazing. Many people do this, not just celebrities. If you because copyrights can be quite expensive to get. One, two, they take a lot of time. Right? So if you file your copyright, instead of sitting down for the years it will take, you can start selling. And if your name conflicts with somebody else, who got there first? If it was you, it's still your copyright. Yes? Which is why when Azeva went away, guys, do you recall the press searched all over the world for companies that had a similar name so that they could go and create issues? It didn't go anywhere. When that did not work, when I think they found some random clothing line or clothier somewhere in America who didn't copyright his name, by the way. When that did not work, they took the logo and ran somewhere else. I think it was some Spanish country to go and complain that the coat of arms looked, and I was like, at that point I was like, okay, enough. Meg Hive, enough. I started ignoring them. Anyway, Megan announced her collaboration with Big Boy Netflix as silent partners. Megan retains creative control, and the lifestyle brand is Food Hosting Home Slow Intentional Living. But because Meg Hive, aka the British press, have no control, those psychopaths went into Megan's LLC articles and copywriting to check what she was selling. So they told us that not only is she selling jams and things like that, she's selling clothes, and she's going into hospitality. And I'm like, you paid money to get all that information? Why? Even I, as a fan, didn't do that. When I tell you these people are crazy. Anyway, the media coverage framed her as a successor and a modern Martha Stewart, which from what I heard, she wasn't happy about, but with a values-driven millennial Gen X lens. More importantly, what I loved about it, and I stand by this, is it focused on Megan's taste, authorship, and ownership without any royal optics. So to all the clowns that are saying that Megan is using her titles to make money, I'm very curious why you think so. I keep asking people to tell me what it is about Megan that makes you think that she's using her titles to make money. Of course, no answer, because these people are not normal people. Now let's talk about why lifestyle is a good place for Megan to invest in. I just told you, it's a long tail category. There's high trust, low scandal, durable monetization. Megan's appeal is cross demographic. Yes, she is. So Megan basically is an influencer. I don't know why people are upset about this. Do you know how the Kardashians are influencers? They went from carrying Paris Hilton's bag to becoming billionaires and a brand on their own. Are you kidding? Megan is $1 billion brand. Quote me. When she finally sells her business or starts licensing her business for billions of dollars, you people will come here and talk about it again. Everything I don't have to tell you guys, we are fans, but it's a fact. Everything Megan touches sells out. It doesn't even matter if she's not wearing it. She could be standing next to this rocking chair I'm on and posing with it. Rocking chairs will suddenly start selling out. When Megan was doing her With Love Megan show, she was using Le Creuset. People started buying Le Creuset in that same color. Those Le Creusets were retailing for at least $400. Mind you, I don't think she had an advertising deal with them. I could be wrong though. I think for you to use products like that on a commercial platform, I think there are specific things you have to do specific disclosures that you have to give. And it might very well be, guys, and please don't quote me on this, Le Creuset probably agreed because they wanted the advertising revenue. Because if Megan touches it, it will sell out. You can't just take copyrighted and branded products and make it appear on your TV shows without licensing. That's why you see people, when they are using MacBooks on TV shows, they tend to cover the back of the brand, of the branding logo, because if it comes up on your commercial platform, you are going to have to pay Apple. So for Megan to be able to use Le Creuset, don't forget she was drinking quite a lot of champagne, Tatinga. All these people agreed to have their goods marketed on her show. That would not be for free. Whether it's payment to Netflix or it's payment to Megan and Netflix, that's not free advertising. They will pay her. So again, this is why lifestyle, it can be very good. It's a very good income stream, because just because of the name brand, just for things to appear on your platform, you could make some decent cash. So shout out to Megan, as always, a businesswoman. Then in June, July, oh yes, let's quickly talk about Megan's podcast. Coming off the back of With Love Megan and starting her business. Yes, thank you, Elfa sponsors. Coming off the back of that, Megan had her wonderful podcast. Fantastic podcast. Let's give Megan a clap, ladies and gentlemen. That was one of the better podcasts. I'm a big podcast girly. And for me to love a podcast, because my attention span can be quite low, that podcast has to be fire. That podcast was incredible. Guys, please like, subscribe, like the chat, like the chat so we can build the algorithm. Megan's podcast was a reigning success. She won an award for it. She interviewed everybody from, what's her name? The Bumble CEO to Jamie Lyman, link that had the face thing. And of course, the matriarch herself, Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom. That's a lot for somebody who is irrelevant. Yep. So the With Love Megan season 2 also dropped, I think August, September. I love the show. Please let me know your thoughts in the chat. Did you like With Love Megan? I find it very relaxing, listening to her calming voice, the calming atmosphere. That first episode with them starting with honey was fantastic. It literally felt like somebody had poured honey on my bones. It was amazing. It showed Megan as a producer, a host, and a curator of taste. Well done, Megan. Fantastic work. The media coverage was inauthentic because she didn't film in her house. Because when you have a crew of 70 people, you want them hopping in and out of your house. Because when you're someone like Megan who has a lot of threats to her life and her children's life, she wants randoms in her home. Yes. Like I said, not all criticisms are worth responding to, but I really love that show. I thought it was so well done, and I look forward to season 3, because I know season 3, maybe season 3, season 4 is coming. I've already said the guests I want to see on the show, but I'm curious to see how Megan handles it. And of course, guys, sorry, I'm not running too far ahead. We got, as ever, the amount of money I've spent on international shipping. I could have used it on the goods, and I'm not happy about that. Megan, we want international shipping. Anyway, As Ever came out, for those of you who... And I don't know how many of you were able to get at least one product. When it first came out that first time, stupid me, I was working. So, and do you know what, guys? I'm not even joking. Sometimes, even though we know that the media is lying, there are sometimes that we sometimes unintentionally buy into the narrative, because I was thinking, okay, she's releasing her goods, maybe I can check it after work, maybe some things will still be there. I took my mind off it. I went on X maybe 30 minutes after the goods came out. Everything had completely sold out. I won't lie, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you guys, are you serious? I didn't think every single good was sold out. I was thinking maybe the jams might go, and I really wanted the jams. But guys, I did not expect every single good to sell out. I don't even think she did. I don't think anybody did. So that blew my mind. I think it sold out in how many minutes? 20 minutes or less? And I think Megan was kind of shocked and stunned, and everybody was stunned. Like, according to what Megan said, she said she knew there would be demand, but she didn't anticipate and people would want it that badly or that quickly. So, and this is something that always baffled me. Her goods sold out. It was a roaring success, unfortunately, without international shipping. They did something that kind of annoyed me, but I accepted it. People bought Megan's jams to complain about it and were pleasantly surprised that her jams were always winning taste tests. And things like that just kind of confirmed how good the jams were. So their hating ass ended up making products, Mega's products seem more niche, bespoke, and luxury, which is we need. We want to have it, but it's not easily available. That is the sign of luxury. It's not necessarily even cost. Luxury is having access to something not everybody can have access to. So that really cemented Megan's goods as good, and just out of genuine curiosity, people wanted to buy it. Unfortunately, Megan was not anticipating this type of demand, and I believe that's why it took a bit longer for the next batch. But guys, it didn't stop the British media from saying, God knows where they got this from, by the way, because I read that interview and she didn't say that, from saying that Megan doesn't want to produce any more goods. And I was like, British media, sometimes I need you guys to use your head, even when you're trolling. Why would somebody who had that type of a successful launch not want to release another batch immediately to capitalize on the hype? Has it not occurred to maybe she can't release more because one, she probably doesn't have any more to release and she's waiting for the next drop? Anyway, Megan released batch one, two, three, four, five of As Ever. First of all, being the raspberry jams and the cookie mix. The second time, they had 10 times the inventory, sold out in less than an hour, in about 3 hours, which is insane, by the way. She released her rosé. I'm very happy to say I bought that rosé. That rosé is strong, bloody hell. Sold out in less than an hour. Again, I was shocked. She released her second rosé. I don't think that sold out, but the first one did. Her brut champagne. Ooh, that was a bit too dry, but there are other things you can mix it with to make it good. So very excited for her in the alcohol space, because again, don't forget, George Clooney sold his ticket, sold his what brand for billions of dollars. That's money. And that was the As Ever drop throughout the year. Like I said, for 2023, we hope for international shipping, Megan. Please, for me, and please let me know in the chat what you were able to get. I told you guys, I finally got the raspberry spread, I got the strawberry spread, I got the orange spread, I got the apricot, which I adored. I didn't get the cookie mix because I'm not a cookie girl, but I'm beginning to regret that now. If the hot toddy drops in price, if I order again, if she still has her candles, I will buy her candles. Sorry guys, if you're sitting down for this long, if she still has her candles, I'll buy candles because I really want to smell it. And that's what I'm saying, guys. Megan cemented herself as a credible businesswoman, because the trolls on Twitter were letting all of us know that, well, now that Megan is selling her own goods, we don't have time to judge her and judge how she sells things. And I was like, anyway, there was no need. The fact that she was able to sell out tells me everything. Something else Megan also did, Megan had a Shop Me page, which she took down. So if anybody has any, someone was saying that she's probably signed a clothing line deal, and she may have. I don't know why she took down the Shop Me page, but well, Shop My or Shop Me. But well, we'll see what's coming next after that. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, it's a big win for Megan this year, guys. And speaking of fashion, Megan walked the Balenciaga show. Of course, the Rangers were bitching and complaining that Megan stole the spotlight. And I was like, that is literally why she was there. They didn't want Megan stealing the spotlight. Why invite her? Why not just leak it to the press so that the press could descend on her? Why wait until the very last minute to bring her out? Megan stole the press because she commands the press. Simple. It was really cool to see her out and about. I had a great time. I had a time, guys. One of the better experiences, I think. Seeing Megan in her all white. Loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I'm hoping, and guys, let me know what you think in the chat that she will do another one. What do you think, guys? I think she will. Like I said, 2026 is going to be a fit year. And yeah, this was the year roundup for Megan Sussex as we now approach December 31st. In this year, let's recap it. Megan launched her TV show, launched her business, released a podcast, still had time to volunteer with the LA fires and the trauma and traumatized children, continues to support her philanthropic endeavors, and honestly, her star continues to be bright. She and Harry won a humanitarian award for the Parents Network, and I have a lot of love for Meg. Shout out to you. This has been an amazing year. You guys agree? You guys agree that it's been an amazing year for the Sussexes? Uh-huh. And I think a lot of things happened this year, not just that, guys. I think a lot of people's media, I believe by Megan coming on her show, and Megan, oh yes, I didn't talk about this. Megan had quite a lot of podcasts this year, guys. Probably for the first time, we got to speak to Megan without Harry on her own. And it was nice. It was nice hearing from her. It was nice hearing in her own words, on her own terms. You guys saw me live react to Jamie Lima. That interview was beautiful. I had tears in my eyes. That woman is so inspiring. I found her, she's such a comfort. She was like wearing a comfortable blanket. So shout out to her for that beautiful interview. And of course, Megan wasn't wearing any makeup, which I know pissed off the haters. We know, don't worry. What else happened? She had an interview with Bloomberg that was, again, all these interviews were intentional. It just flows in quite nicely with the intentionality of her podcast, guys. She used these interviews to talk about her business, her family, herself on her own terms. And notice that she did not mention once the royal family. Didn't mention them, didn't talk about her time here. She complained about the press, as she should. The press is awful. But the British media, because they cannot let this woman go, always found ways to tie one thing or the other to the British media. Oh, when I was doing this and this, I didn't do that. She's referred to the royal family. No, she's not. You asked her a direct question, she's giving you a direct answer. Biko, how did we get from there to the royal family? And this is the part that pisses them off. They are angry that she's doing well without the royal family. So they are doing as much in their power to frame it like everything Meghan has is because of the royal family. Meghan has global name recognition because you, the media, made her SEO extremely clickable. By bashing her daily, by not leaving her alone, even when Meghan was silent the majority of last year, you were finding ways to make her the center of your stories. Do you guys remember the Telegraph making a whole front page, where is Meghan? The fuck? It is like dealing with children. If you don't like her, why are you talking about her? Do you not yet understand the way to kill somebody's career in this social media day and age? Don't talk about them. You don't talk about them, there's no SEO. There's no SEO, there's no clickbait. out to all the idiot derangers. Because some of you people have so dehumanized. I have a separate channel, guy, M for recaps, and I talk about it there. We need to remember we are speaking about human beings. Oh, guys, give me 1 second. I have to quickly go downstairs to pick up something from the postman. 1 second. Hello guys, sorry. I got a delivery. Let me know now. These are human beings, right? You want her to go away, stop talking about her. But they can't stop talking about her because they've made her clickbait. So it's this vicious cycle of you can't leave her alone anymore. You've allowed things to get so bad now that you literally can't leave her alone. Otherwise, not because she brings so much fascination. But if you don't talk about her, nobody's going to engage with your shit. And this is why when they say Megan brings it on herself, I'm like, for existing? Because I bet you, God forbid, if Megan vanishes, which is what they want her to do, they won't stop talking about it. They will do documentaries about it. They will lie with impunity. But anyway, all I know is it was lovely hearing from Megan. And you know what I loved about her podcast? Again, is that intentionality. She went on Emily Greed, introduced me to Emily Greed. I love Emily Greed now. I follow her on Instagram or on TikTok, sorry. Love her. Introduced me to Jamie Lima. And all these amazing entrepreneurs and business women. Again, as somebody who is trying to grow my own business, it got me really into it, got me motivated. And this is what I recommend for everybody, guys. Please, 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 go and listen to the podcast, get motivated, get your business entrepreneur game on, whatever it is you want to do. And speaking of, let me nerd out a bit. I got a Raspberry Pi. I have another channel that I'm going to be doing quite a lot of AI work with. I'm going to be using Neon to build machines with my Raspberry Pi. So if you want to, and if you're interested in that, don't worry, I won't bring you here. Please subscribe to N4 Recaps. What were we saying? Get into your business bag, guys. Get into your business bag. And business doesn't have to be this massive, great thing. Business could literally be something that you enjoy doing. Right now in the world, people look, so all you need is ring lights, internet. You can make thousands of pounds. You don't even have to be wealthy. Get into your entrepreneurial bag if you want to. It could be just you streaming, talking to people like me. It could be just you watching TV and dragging everybody which I will be doing on the M4 Recaps. So go to M4 Recaps. And yeah, I loved it. This year was very motivational for me because of Megan. And as a Megan fan, the reason I like her so much is resilience. We can debate back and forth about racism. We can debate back and forth about sexism. But one thing we can never disagree about, that woman is bloody resilient. Imagine people are coming at you every single day, every single way. There is no relief. But somehow she's managed to put her head down, ignore the noise, and get on with it. And I think what that thing taught me, which I'm going to apply in future work I do, network. Talk to people. So yeah, shout out to Megan. This has been a fantastic year for her. I can only imagine what 2026 is going to be. But I'm still here, so we're all going to scream together when whatever it is she screams about comes out next year. Please let me know in the chat what you're thinking she might be doing next year. I have a couple of ideas, but like let me know in the chat. Guys, wow. Do you know what I've observed? Our chat doesn't have any bots. It's amazing. I love it. It means I hope this means that people that are listening to this chat are her genuine fans. That's lovely. So now that we're done with Megan, guys, let's go to my fave because of Megan, Prince Harry. Now you guys know me, I'm Prince Harry. You know I don't hate Harry, but you know I'm not exactly a fan. He's still a member of the royal family. But I will always give this man props for taking care, for doing what other members of the royal family. This man grew up with privilege. He is their blood. Probably grew up with the same type of nonsense that they had in them. But he talks about unlearning these terrible things, teaching himself to be better, getting rid of his unconscious biases, and still working on himself. And honestly, guys, what else can you ask for from a white man with wealth and privilege? But I think, and I always say the thing that humanizes, why Harry finds it easy to humanize himself is he's someone that has been tormented by the royal family and its infrastructure. So he has a healthy amount of resentment for the family, for the infrastructure of the royal family. And that, as terrible as that sounds, probably has helped him because he didn't look at it as an entitlement, more as a burden. You know how I was saying that privilege, for you to be genuine as a privileged person, you have to see your privilege as a burden. You have to see a privilege not as an entitlement, but as a burden. I'm not like, nobody wants to hear white tears. Some of you do that shit. Please stop it. If you want to be an ally, if you truly want to take your privilege and help people, we want visibility. We want you to elevate people, talk to people, use your platform to help others. Oh, I'm a white guy with wealth. I have access to certain rooms. Okay, I'm going to sponsor a charity with people who will not be able to get access to those rooms and give them a chance to talk to people I talk to. That is helping. Nobody is asking you to come and perform for us, right? And I think this is why, at some point, diversity, equity, and inclusion became a pain in the ass, even for me as a black woman, because I didn't want to take a job because I was black. Don't hire me because I'm black. Hire me because even though you do want to fill in a quota, you think I am good enough for the job, and you're going to support me, yeah, to break into certain rooms. If you're just going to hire me because, oh, I need too many whites, I need a black. F you, I'm not interested. So I think the reason why DEI failed, in my personal opinion, it wasn't genuine. If you really want to help people, there is an intentionality in it. Period. You will educate yourself about the biases and you will help people. The reason I'm bringing that up again is because of Harry. Harry, I believe, did not educate himself, and he says so himself, did not educate himself about racism and unconscious bias until he was forced to. Do I blame him? Not really, actually, because why would he? Someone might look at him and say, but Harry, you went to Jamaica, Africa. Yeah, but look at who he was hanging out with in Jamaica and Africa. Harry wasn't hanging out with the villagers in Africa. He was hanging out with other white people in Africa who were also just as privileged as him, who maybe had a house. He was hanging out with apartheid people in Africa. I'm not saying he wasn't friends with some African princes or African people, but come on now. It's like saying because Elon Musk is from South Africa, he's not racist. What? Staying with Meghan humanized him in a different way. And if the royal family was serious, instead of this, they're always saying this thing and it pisses me off. Oh, well, Harry and Meghan would have been great for the Commonwealth. Why? Why? Because royal family doesn't want to be bothered with the black and the browns. Okay, let's just send the minority there. Right? That was it. That was it. They kept on saying Meghan would have been good for the Commonwealth. Why? Because she has a black mom. Because you guys didn't want to educate yourself and humanize yourself with the Commonwealth. That's why you were sending Meghan and Harry there. As if it's a punishment. Hello, member of the Commonwealth here. F you very much, by the way. And this is for the Rangers and the British fans. And even for the squaddies who keep on pushing that narrative. Meghan was good for the Commonwealth, not just because she was a person of color, but because it appeared that she was serious about doing work with people from the Commonwealth, because she would kneel down to their level, kiss their hand, thank you for accepting me, because she understood. But let me go back to my point. Why did it have to be the biracial black woman that understood how to humble herself in the presence of non-white people? If you know what I mean. William and Kate used to go to vacate, and they still do, to Mustique in the Caribbean. Wouldn't they have been a better fit for the Commonwealth? They were going to, William was always going to Africa before Kate and him were going to Mustique while Harry was in the army. Why couldn't they be weapons of good for the Commonwealth? Why? Why did they have to be the biracial black? Again, the fact that they kept on pushing Meghan to the Commonwealth is its own form of microaggression in my part. Because what are you trying to say? You can't be bothered to humble yourself with the people that you enslaved and colonized. So you're sending the black there. It's not just Willie and Kate Electra. It's the whole system of racism. Nigeria got bombed a few days ago. The king has not said anything, by the way. William and Harry and Meghan went to Nigeria for Invictus. The British press insulted my country. Nobody apologized to us for that. Edward went to Nigeria recently for reasons I'm not particularly sure. I didn't hear anybody in the media say anything. Kate and William did colonial cosplay to the Caribbean. The only reason why it got backlash, in my personal opinion, is because, are you serious, Kate and William? And also, again, are you serious, Kate and William? So this idea that because Meghan is a black, she belongs to the Commonwealth really pisses me off, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, let me not get carried away with that. The reason I brought it up was because of Harry. And Harry is a very good example of somebody, a white man, who had honestly no reason, even though he was going to Africa and Jamaica a lot and really humbling himself because he wanted to, fit in. I have no doubt in my mind he still had racist points of views. Let's be 500%. And he said so himself. I'm so glad he said so himself. And he had to unlearn this stuff when he married a biracial black woman. But my point is, he's a very good example of somebody who grew up with great privilege, being able to humble himself and unlearn nonsense for the sake of his family, his kids, and himself. And I will always appreciate Harry for that. So let's talk about Harry's year. Harry, obviously, unlike Meghan, I've always believed that Harry, I labeled him here strategic quiet. Harry continues to maintain a low visibility public posture as much as possible, avoiding reactive press, aka nobody is bashing Harry the way they're bashing Meghan. Let's keep it 500%, unless it comes to dealing with the press. He continues the amazing work he's doing with Invictus, the veteran. Every day, and I follow Invictus on X. Every day you're hearing about how the Invictus patronage is expanding all over the world. The latest update now is 3 countries are bidding. Korea, South, I think San Diego, and there's somewhere else that's bidding for Invictus 2029, which is incredible, by the way. The mental health initiatives that are connected to Archwell. And everybody keeps forgetting that Harry has a business. He has a sustainability travel business. Why does nobody talk about that? Jesus, that business has done quite well this year, but we'll go through it. Have you noticed, and guys, I've said this before, the media is quite restrained with Harry. Have you noticed? They save all their bashing for Meghan. They don't really go after Harry like that. As we've said, Harry, the Invictus is Harry's legacy project. Contrary to what habitual liar Angela Levin said, nobody is taking that patronage from him. Everything about the Invictus today is because of Harry. This is why William went to quickly go and open Earthshot. Again, when you don't do any type of philanthropy because you carry the burden of privilege, it feels lifeless, useless, and nonsense. Notice how William is supposed to be the patron, but we never see him doing anything for Earthshot. It's always his CEO, Jason Knopf, and other people that are doing all the legwork. Aha, thank you, Electra. They bash him for the press, but they largely leave him alone. Have you noticed? Useless people. Anyway, again, Harry, of course, as we know, Harry is part of Archwell, which transitioned into Archwell Philanthropies. Harry wasn't as visible. Harry was visible, but not in the way Meghan was. But Meghan has to be visible in that way because she's an influencer. She's selling a business. He continues to work on his humanitarian service, which people say it goes largely unpublicized. I disagree. We see it. If you go on Archwell's website, you will see it there. But people don't care about that because they don't want to talk about Harry's philanthropic work because it will continue to make the British royalty look ridiculous, right? So Harry's year is quiet, but he's done quite a lot of philanthropic work. So let me just list them out for you guys. I'm trying to just get a list of some specific things on the actual website. Yeah. So we've spoken about how Harry is very interested in philanthropy. Hello. So let's break it down a bit more. Do you remember that Harry came to the UK in September? I can't believe it was just September. Bloody hell. It feels like he's been here. He came here like a year ago. Wow, so much has happened. Harry was in the UK in September, and the Meg Hive, as I call them, guys, they were all at Twitter. I've never seen all his fanboys were having. Tom Sykes was having an orgasm on air. He was so happy Harry was here. That prick from Newsweek that looks like a mosquito. What's that his name, sir? I've forgotten that his name. Like always doing shady nonsense. He was smiling like he met Beyonce because he somehow managed to secure a press pass to one of the charity events that Harry went to when he came to the UK. Harry visited with his father at Clarence House. All the people that were banned from entering all of Harry's events were all stalking the King's Clarence House. I do believe that the King used Harry's visit to gain PR for himself because the King is a prick. And also, let's not also forget that Harry was here earlier in the year. Oh, that was funny. Remember when Harry came for his security appeal, and nobody knew he was coming, and the king was in Rome, and that news completely wiped the king out of. I was dying of laughter. It was so good. That was one of the best days. I was screaming because nobody knew he was coming. Then all of a sudden, the BBC was all a flitter. It's the way they start hyperventilating with joy whenever they see Harry that makes me laugh. You say you don't want him here. You say you hate him. You say the fans don't like him. But the instant you see him on UK soil, you guys lose your respective shits. BBC literally caught somebody that was giving breaking news to go and focus on Harry. Unfortunately, Harry lost his appeal, but I think he knew he was going to. Then he released that very heart-wrenching BBC documentary, sorry, BBC interview, BBC America interview, and then of course the Rangers and the press were bitching and complaining. But I think what was lovely about it is a lot of people look, the people that will hear Harry will hear Harry. The people that will hear Meghan will hear Meghan. Ignore the noise. The noise is very loud. Everybody understands family estrangement. We all understand family estrangement. Everybody can humanize themselves to it. And that's why Harry has a lot of organic support, as does Meghan. You will fight with a family member. It happens. But Charles made himself look very bad with that BBC interview. That's why when Harry came in September, all of a sudden, Charles suddenly had time in his diary to see his blood son. Probably the only member of his family that actually likes him. Because honestly, let's keep it 500%. William is literally counting down to his father kicking the bucket. I ain't lying. It was, yeah, it was. I love how. Do you guys remember I was saying that I hope Harry doesn't start crying? It was raw. It was raw. But you know what I love about Harry is he can be raw. People that say things like, why is he doing it in the press? What or that? Are you serious? This is where that gaslighting starts and really pisses me off. What else do you want him to do? He's writing to his father, he's not responding. He's calling his father, he's not responding. He's not talking to his child. But his father has no qualms leaking things to the press. This father has no qualms spreading lies and misinformation in the press. So what do you want him to do? Why did he write his book? Do you know how many Prince Harry and Prince William books they've released since I was a child? If you enter WH Smith on your way to the airport, it is inundated with books royal commentators have written about the Harry and William relationship. A lot of the nonsense they said in those books were lies. And Harry just wanted to straighten that shit out. I was not close to my brother. I love my sibling, but he and I are not close like that. We are not tight. Meghan did not come in and break a bond. There was no bond there. We knew how to perform for the camera. Yes, we've been doing it all our life. You know? And go and look at the pictures of Harry. I call it his extra ugly years. Do you remember when I genuinely thought Harry was fat? I'll just say this now. Do you know why? He didn't have the beard. He didn't have the beard. His clothes never fit. And he was always walking 20 steps behind Kate and William. So I just assumed he was fat. So I remember telling someone that, why is he getting fat like that? Then you see him all of a sudden, Harry's lost. So first of all, the first right thing Harry did was getting that beard. No shade to you, Harry, no shade. But that beard solved so many problems for you, I swear to God. But I think beards do that for men. For some reason, beard is like makeup for men. Hid half his face. He's not ugly, I'm just saying. When he started dating Meghan, all of a sudden his clothes now fit. He wasn't wearing shokoto that came out 3 years ago from TK Maxx or baggy suit that didn't look iron. His clothes were fit. You guys saw my reaction when he was on with Love Meghan. That I was taken aback. I was like, Harry was looking so fine. I was like, is this Harry? It was hot. A man with confidence has swagger. Swagger is sexy. Let's keep it to 100%, y'all. You could be the ugliest man in the world if you have swagger. The girls, I am a heterosexual woman. I am not immune. Even though Harry is not my type, I will give props where props are due. Harry looks good now. I mean, yes, he has a bit of a belly, but he's an old man. He has skinny legs. But if you see the way, it's the way he walks. I can't even describe it. There's a swagger, a sexy, there's a kind of swagger of a man who is confident. Harry wasn't walking that way before. Yeah, do you remember when he was clean shaven and he used to wear these ugly clothes and he was always uncomfortable? I don't know what happened. Maybe, I don't know. He woke up one morning, got a beard. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying no, but Harry has a swagger now. I can't describe it. He's sexy now. He is. I guess that's what happens when you're loved by a beautiful woman, I guess. You know, it's that black wife. Or maybe he's sexy because of the black wife effect. It happens with Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. I have always liked Klay Thompson, but not in a crushy way. I just really like the athletes. All of a sudden, Klay has a stylist. Megan has started dressing. Klay is still a very shy person. But, ladies, a beard and clothes and a good haircut and swagger, ooh, that's all. But men are lucky, they don't have to try too hard. Anyway, yeah, sorry, I got carried away with that. Harry came back to the UK, stole all his father's press for that room visit, which was 10 out of 10 for me as far as I'm concerned. The BBC documentary was very heartbreaking, but a lot of the feedback was quite good. I thought a lot of people were very touched by that documentary because you could tell he was very emotional about it. It felt like a cry to help to his dad. Look, Dad, I've tried it in court. I need you to help me. And you know what? Let's continue to say that waste man, Charles. Anyway, terrible father, terrible, just all around terrible. That would be your legacy, King Charles, sorry. Anyway, the meeting at Clarence House was described as brief, a private engagement over tea, framed by some outlets as a step towards rapprochement in family relationships. Okay. It didn't stop the Sun though from leaking nonsense. It didn't stop somebody in Charles's press office. They keep on saying somebody in Charles's press office as if it's not Charles to leak nonsense in the press. I love when Harry came back and said, absolutely effing not. I'm not playing that game with you. I gave you a picture that had this and this and this. Don't play with me. I love it. You know the press didn't like it because this was Harry saying that I'm not going to sit back and allow you to frame narratives anymore. This is what happened. This is what I gave my dad. And this is it. The press didn't like that, by the way. Anyway, what I loved about Harry visiting in September is that delusional stalker clown Matt Wilkinson from The Sun genuinely thought after all the shit that he did at the last Invictus, Harry was going to let him near him. I love how Harry just humbled that man quickly. First of all, after telling everybody that he was going to be at the charity event Harry went for, he wasn't. I'm guessing he was not allowed anywhere near Harry. That was hilarious. And the fact that he had to beg people to go and watch, I'm very sure Matt didn't make a penny when Harry came. I love this for you, Matt. And yeah, Harry gave away £1.5 million to one of the charities he supports in Nottingham. Shout out to them. That was amazing to see. And you know, again, the British royal family did not like that either because he felt like, someone said that he felt like somebody who's been abroad and came back and just started, dropping cash, letting you know that his visit abroad was very lucrative. That was a very African boss move. I love that for him. Let's talk about the charitable contribution. So around that September visit, it was also announced that a 500,000 donation from Archwell and Harry to support wounded children in Ukraine and Gaza, working with agencies like WHO and Save the Children. That was amazing. That was very amazing. Also, when Harry was in the UK, he attended, yes, it was the Well Child Awards that Matt Wilkinson and tabloids were not allowed anywhere near. You know they were very salty about that. Yeah. So yeah, he came back, splashed money, gave it to some charities, saw his waste man of a father, and I believe we're going to be seeing him more. Don't forget that we're having Invictus in Birmingham. He's going to be here a lot more. He has a lot of work to do here, and don't forget his father is quote unquote sick, so he wants to see his dad, and that's fair. If this is the way, look, Harry healing with his dad is not our business, and honestly, I encourage it if it helps him. You don't want him to have regret when Charles decides to move on to hell, right? Whatever he can do to fix whatever, to give him, to make his conscience clear before his father dies, honestly, I welcome it. So how we do? Harry's trip to Ukraine. Ooh. Harry went on 2 trips to Ukraine this year, guys. Two. While the British royal family, while the British royal press was stalking every single airport, private and public in the UK, trying to see when Harry was going to leave, Harry was able to get himself into Ukraine for the second time to visit injured soldiers. Look, the thing that Harry is doing in Ukraine is pretty incredible, actually. I think he is single-handedly, him and the, I can't, he is single-handedly really helping really helping the British reputation with the Ukraine war effort. I'm serious. The way he comes in and comes out, and we saw it that Meghan posts videos of the gifts that they received from the Ukraine armed forces. And do you guys remember when the Ukraine Prime Minister said her Royal Highnesses, or the Royal Highnesses, Harry and Meghan? And the British media was throwing all sorts of tantrums. The Rangers were rolling all over his shit when she said that, as if that is not their title. Anyway, that was great. We can contrast that with Billy Idol, who was not allowed anywhere near Ukraine. He went somewhere. Where did he go? He went somewhere to go and take picture. It's not worth talking about. Anyway, yeah. So Harry this year. Oh yes, in December we saw some wonderful events for Harry. Harry went for that polo game in Aspen. Am I the only person who had no idea they played slow polo? Apparently, it's a big event that the very wealthy are invited to. And a guy on Twitter said Harry's presence brought media coverage, and did, because I didn't know about it. I didn't know about Aspen. Harry was looking sexy on his horse. Meghan was thirsting all over social media. As always, it was uncomfortable to see, but hilarious. And it was just great. Honestly, it was just great. Shout out to Harry for being out here poloing it up. Do you guys think he's getting coverage for Polo season 2? Is he getting a season 2? I don't know. Netflix hasn't said anything. Let's see. I hope so. Maybe they can find a way. I was saying it. Harry and Meghan need to lean into celebrity. I'm sorry, but they have to. Their celebrity is strong enough, yes. But to watch a show they're not featured on, nah. That Aspen thing, if I were Harry for a season 2, I would really showcase celebrities. I'm sorry. People want to see the stars. Go for that. Yeah. In December, Harry had a pre-Christmas outing. Harry always, what I love about Harry is there's something that they said about Harry and Meghan. They really work in their community. Similar to the Kevin Costner charities, he's always attending events where he's giving veterans, and it's not just veterans, police people, firefighters, they love that shit. And it's honestly a good thing. It's good for their morale. He visited the Ventura Training Center in Camarillo to meet formerly incarcerated individuals who became firefighters through the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, an organization using wildland firefighting as a path to reintegration and stability. And that's amazing. In fact, nobody even heard about it until like people took pictures and posted it on social media. And it's all these little community things that he's using himself for that's helping him build all that goodwill. Because imagine you are somebody that went to prison, right? And you're trying to get your life back, and Prince Harry comes to your event and shakes your hand and says you're doing a good job. Imagine how that will really help your morale. You know? It's, as I said, using your privilege for good. Not just entitlement and taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. You're actually making people feel good. You are encouraging them. Also, Harry this year, look, I told you guys that Harry is a businessman. So Harry, um, Harry this year, if you guys remember, I don't know if it was in December or November, there was the British American Business Coalition that happened in, I think, November. Where was it? Mm. Anyway, I think it was around November, December, where Harry was brought in as a special guest to speak. And you guys saw the video, everybody sort of started giving, because they weren't expecting, I think I don't know if they were or they weren't, but when they saw him, they gave him a standing ovation. And I recall saying, notice how it was Harry they invited, not William. Do with that information what you will. Harry is a very good, and this feeds into the narrative that Richard Eden keeps on screaming about on X. He's not wrong. The British government have seen the value of Harry and Meghan as global ambassadors. And I think that's why the security thing is happening. Not just because of Invictus coming up, but because they're like, enough of this nonsense. Every time Harry comes here, he achieves this. Don't forget that event he went for in the UK, that the head of the WHO came to because of him. That's power. That is real power. He's like a unifying force. People came out to greet him. Nobody comes out to see the others. People came out to greet him. Oh my God, Harry, Harry. If you know what I mean. Britain knows that Harry is an asset. And that's why he's getting his security back. And I want the Rangers, I need you to find a way to cope. So if I had to summarize Harry's business year, I would say delivering impact and visibility via the Invictus Games globally, understanding and stabilizing Archwell's place in non-profit ecosystem, leveraging public speaking and awards to bolster partnerships and networking, holding a strategic presence in key charity and advocacy spaces, clearing institutional access barriers that affect future business travel and paid engagements. What more do we have to say? I will mention it because it has to be mentioned, unfortunately, guys. Unfortunately, I have to bring up Sophie Chanduka. Yes, I'm so sorry. Sophie Chanduka tried it this year. Tried a criminal, in my opinion, that ran that wonderful charity Harry had with Prince Mosquito in Botswana to the ground, because instead of focusing on AIDS, which was his mother's legacy, for reasons only she knows, she decided to waste the money they don't have to to give 250,000 to a consultancy firm that did sweet effort. Now that charity is in the red. That charity may be done for, and I really do feel sorry for Harry. But I think through Archwell Philanthropies, now that they're expanding globally, I'm not too upset, because it would not surprise me if he brings in somebody else. Him and Prince will do a new charity that will be focused, maybe a bigger charity and a wider remit. Watch this space, guys. I have to bring up Sophie. I'm so sorry, but I had to. Unfortunately, we're doing the year-end wrap-up. But you see, I barely spend any time on her because she's not even worth mentioning. So that's Prince Harry, guys. It's been a fantastic year. Harry, I forgot to mention Meghan's Harper's Bazaar, which I cannot find. Guys, every time I go to because where I work, sometimes I have to go through the airport. The WH Smith near me, I have checked. I'm sure it will come one day. Once it comes, I'll keep it because I'm going to buy it. I'm going to. I'll do a quick recap for all of us. I can't wait till I finally get it. But you guys, I have it. I hope you're enjoying your Harper's Bazaar. As soon as I get it, I'll get it as a keeper's collection item. Megan gave that Harper's Bazaar for 2026. Here are some of the things I predict are going to happen, and I put some notes down. Guys, please let me know in the chat what you predict for 2026. I predict, here is my prediction anyway. I believe that they are going to continue with their advocacy work. They're going to keep on working on philanthropies. Now that Hi S. Johnson, now that Atwell is now a global brand, I believe we're going to see more initiatives they will include their children in while protecting their privacy. I look forward to that. I feel in the Netflix production calendar, I believe that we're going to get more with Love Megan or spin-offs. Somebody was saying spin-offs. There's some predicted, I believe we're going to get more advocacy documentaries with Netflix, or they will announce them next year. Don't forget that we have a romantic comedy coming, guys, which I'm looking forward to. In January, we have the Sundance Festival with the Cookies documentary. Again, also looking forward to that. I don't know if Harry or Meghan will show up to Sundance, but I look forward to that. I believe that there's going to be some sort of a global tour. Who's with me? I have a feeling we might get a global tour. I have a feeling we might get a global tour. I could be wrong though, but I hope we do. I believe that we're going to get some more. I think we're going to see Harry in the UK more, particularly around Invictus. But I believe that the British government is also actively trying to expand brand Harry. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see him doing more missions on behalf of the British government. Ooh, the meltdown will be hilarious. I look forward to that, by the way. What else? I believe that we're going to get some more goods from With Love Megan. I believe Megan has something else coming for us. Fingers and toes crossed we get our international shipping. I don't know, but I'm hopeful, guys. I hope we get international shipping. Well, yeah, I think we're going to get more seasons of With Love Megan, or some sort of variety of it. I believe we're going to get more products on As Ever. I believe we're going to get more international shipping. What else is happening next year, guys? What else do you think? Exactly, Spidey. I think we are going to see more trips abroad. What else is happening, ladies and gentlemen? What else is happening? It's a lot, guys. I believe we're going to get quite a lot of content from the Sussexes. I believe we're going to get this year was just the beginning. I believe they pushed the button now. The momentum is going. Megan is on Instagram. Oh, I forgot to mention. I forget to mention Megan is on Instagram. What? Megan is on Instagram now. So I believe that she will continue to communicate with us through Instagram. Exactly. I mentioned the production coming. I don't know if it will actually come out next year, but I know that it's going into production next year. I believe we're going to get more Instagram. I can't wait to see what else she posts on Instagram. I'm going to say something that's also a bit shocking. It will not surprise me if Megan comes to the UK. Yes. It won't surprise me if Megan comes to the UK with on behalf of Invictus or other charities. So I know the Rangers don't like. Sorry, I know many of us don't want this, but if Harry can get security for him and his family, why not? I do think though that they will do it in a way that we wouldn't know that they were here until they leave. That would be amazing. Megan, do this for me. I want you to come to the UK, spend a week kicking and cackling and leave before the British press know. And then go on your Instagram and post it all. The British press will not live it down. They will be bitching and complaining for the entire year. We will not hear a word. Megan, do me this. I also want Megan's mom to sue the busted wig of Carol Malone. I don't know if she will, but I love that the threat of that lawsuit continues to hang in the air, because technically now she can. So if Carol Malone so much as mispronounces Doria's name, she's going to sue that babe. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, but even if, I mean, don't forget that last year that Harry and Meghan went to Canada. They went to Canada, right? In prep for the games. So I believe we'll see Harry and Meghan in the UK in prep for the games. But what will make me very happy is if Meghan comes. Like I said, Meghan and Harry come to the UK, do all that work for at least a week, and the press don't get a picture. and then we all find out at the same time on Megan's Instagram, I will die of laughter. It will be the funny. Megan, do it for me. Megan, do it for us, because I know Megan trolls people. I want her to troll people. I'm hoping Megan joins TikTok. There's a guy who posts thirst messages for Megan. And I was like, you need to stop doing this nonsense so that Megan can join TikTok. I hope she joins TikTok, because I live under this delusion that one day I will post something and she will repost me. I hope she does. It will make my day. I'll be so happy. I'll frame it. It will make me so happy. Yes. Megan, join TikTok. Do it for your fans. We love you. Do it for us. Yeah. Yeah. I told you, Electra, it will not surprise me Megan will come. I have no doubt Megan has been to Europe since she went to. It's not possible that she hasn't been to Europe since she went to Mexico. She may have come in and gone out. That's why I'm saying that the ultimate revenge will be Megan coming into the UK, spending a week and leaving, and they won't know. And they don't find out until she posted it on Instagram. That would be great. I will be dying of laughter. But I don't know if that will happen, because the thing with the Invictus Games is they need that visibility, unfortunately. So what I personally think is, look, everything I'm saying, believe me, they've thought about it. Everything, I'm pretty sure they are stalking the airports right now. They are stalking, because they know that whenever Harry comes, he stays with his uncle who hates them all. They're most likely stalking that man's estate right now. Everything we're thinking about, guys, trust me, they've thought about it twice. Electra, that's a good point. That's a good point. And don't forget, they don't have to fly into Heathrow. They could fly in privately. If they fly in with proper security, you wouldn't know when they've landed or left. Ooh, that would be so funny. I hope Megan, do it for me. I need you to enter this country and leave, and the press not knowing what's going on. Do the people hate UK? Of course not. Look, Elfas, I'll be 500%. Are there people that don't like her? Of course. But the average person right now just wants to pay their bills. I'm very sure if Megan comes out right now, they will all bring out their phones and take pictures, because for better or worse, Megan is still a celebrity. She's still a famous person. You all saw what happened when Harry came. The British media ran to St. Paul's hoping for booze. Didn't Harry go to St. Paul's for the Invictus 10-year anniversary? And look at all the fans are waiting for him outside. Like, he came out and he was shaking hands with people. And even the reporters were so salty that if anybody walks in, they would think it was before Harry and Meghan left. Because the online, look, I keep telling people this thing, bots are not human beings. When Harry came that time, look at the crowd that was waiting for him outside. In the rain, it was raining that day. They were all waiting, they were waiting to take pictures with him. Now, imagine when Meghan comes. Come on. When Meghan went to go visit that school in East London, that everybody was losing their mind. Meghan is a big, look, I'm not even exaggerating. If Meghan comes to this country, and people are aware, you don't even have to believe me. Go and watch. If Meghan comes to this country and it's a day that I can be in the city of London, and she's around St. Paul's, I'll be there. I'm serious, I will be there. It's that serious for me. And I'm sure it will only be me. If Harry can get that much pull, imagine Harry, Meghan. A lot of women of color like Meghan. A lot of black women love Meghan. So I have no doubt if Meghan comes here and people are aware, they will mob Meghan. That's why they don't want her to come. If you see, it's hard to tell people that people hate Meghan. You can't. You are asking people to not believe their eyes, basically. You can't be screaming everybody hates Meghan, but she shows up and a crowd is there screaming her name. The internet are bots. You can buy bots that can spread lies. That's why you notice if you follow me on X, there are many things I don't really respond to anymore because when I check who is posting it, I'm like, oh, it's a bot. I just ignore it. A lot of the haters are bots. I'm not saying there are people that make money engaging with those bots, but bots are not an algorithm. Bots cannot show up and cheer for you. All those barricades they're always putting up is embarrassing at this point. You put barricades up, nobody comes. The people that are there are depressed. How embarrassing is that? If Megan comes, and that's why they don't want her to be here. Because when Megan comes, how are you going to tell people that she's not popular when the streets are flooded? Aha, exactly. No, I think yeah, but I don't. I think the reason why she was also terrified, honestly, is it's scary. It is scary when you read the things people are saying about you. You know, threatening your life. You're in a crowd with people. Somebody could shoot you. Somebody could stab you. Someone could hurt you. But you only see her react that way in the UK. You don't see her do that anywhere else. When she was in Germany working out in the Invictus Games, she was fine. When she was in Canada, she was fine. When in the UK, she was uncomfortable. And don't forget that Kate and the Mary Clown of Trolls, they were awful to her. She didn't feel comfortable, and you could feel it. But don't forget, there was also a child that asked to hug her. People love Megan. Don't a white child for that matter. So don't even it's not just black people. People like Megan. Don't let the press lie to you. And this is why I was saying that Megan, if you don't believe me, test it. Go and make As Ever internationally available in the UK. Let's come back and talk about it. I mean, people lie, bots lie, numbers don't. You hate her but you buy her goods. You hate her but you mob her. Do you mob people you hate? Ah, that's why they don't want her here. Look at her Instagram. Megan opened her Instagram when? In January. It's not 4 million, almost 5 million. Which individual royal has that many? It's only a matter of time before she overtakes William and Kate. Yes, I do. I want my honey and jam. But it's not just that. I just want people to see that the British media is lying. They keep on going around saying that people hate her here, people hate her here. Based on what? Trolls? A few people dialing into right-wing calls? Come on now. Nobody hates Meghan. Does she have haters? Yes. But I would argue she has haters everywhere. There's no celebrity that is universally liked. So it's kind of like there's nobody. It's not possible. But yeah, are you guys telling me Meghan Trump is walking down the street? She will be mobbed. Even Kate, I don't even like that. Okay, well, would they mob her? Would I leave my house if I heard Kate Middleton was outside? I probably look out my window because I want to see if she's as skinny, if she really is as skinny as she looks, because that is unhealthy. Jesus Christ. But other than that, will I leave my house for Skeletor? Absolutely not. Exactly. So no, I don't believe that Meghan is hated internationally. I believe it's a lie. I believe that there are way more people that like her. Maybe not even like her that are probably just indifferent, like they are to most celebrities. But Meghan is selling out 70,000, 100,000 of her products at a time. That's not somebody that's hated. And don't forget that her brand was just opened this year. Compare that to to King Charles's I don't know what King Charles calls his brand. Can King Charles come out and tell everybody that he's selling 10,000 jars or 100,000 jars of his stuff? Come on now. And he's been doing it for decades longer. Please. Meghan is not hated, it's just bots. And the media. Which people have started pushing back on, by the way. But yeah, 2026, I think we'll see Meghan in the UK with Harry. Once he gets that, I know the chocolate, right? Once he gets his, I don't know if we'll see the kids. I'm not sure. I think they'll bring the kids, but I don't think they'll bring them out for the press to take pictures of them, just like they did the last time. Yeah. So before I go, I want to quickly drag the royal family, just quickly. Oh, please. Do you guys believe? Do you guys think he's going to take Kate Middleton with him? I was telling we were debating this. I don't think he is. I don't think we'll see Kate. I was going to Google Prince William and the rest, and I couldn't just report that. I can't be because I didn't make any notes for them. I really don't care. I don't care. I couldn't care less about either of them. Really, it's not even worth dragging, to be honest. I spent 2 hours already. I'm like, I'm good. So yeah, for me on my channel, before we go, I want to quickly say something. So next year, this is the year. I feel like this year was kind of like the testing ground, building the audience, and I want to thank you guys so much. I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again. You guys have become friends. I want to shout out everybody that always comes for my lives. Electra, Gedders, Electra Storm, Elfaz, Spidey Widey. Who else is here? Some of you are so consistent. Andrea S. Johnson, Aisha Ba, hello darling. I'm just seeing you, so I'm just catching up. Karen. I'm going through the list. If I don't call you, it doesn't mean that you're not here. Joy, sorry, love. All of you that support me, I am so grateful to every one of you. You guys really make this worth doing. Your encouragement. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you. Thank you for helping my channel get this far. Next year it's about growth and building the audience. Like I said, not just for my own benefit, but the benefit of Megan. I want more people. Hi, Jasbo. I want more people. I want us to try our best incrementally to beat the algorithm. It will not be easy because you can't fight against bots, but we can try. As much as possible, when you come for the likes, please like, subscribe, please like. Just by clicking like, sending hearts, you're helping build the algorithm. Engaging with the chats also help. Next year it's about growth, further growth. I'm hoping I can grow my channel to at least 5,000. So I would need your help with that, guys. Retweet. Sorry, like, subscribe, share, so people can see the channel. I want us to focus. I'm going to try and do more interactive things. I wanted to use Discord, but I'm looking at other social media platforms because I want us to talk to each other. I was thinking of Station Head. I've never used that before, but I think that's a good one. You want a place where we can talk without any worries about algorithms or copyrights. You know what I mean, right? You want to be able to talk, play music, have a conversation, make it fun and interactive. I use TikTok primarily because I wanted to grow the channel, but it's not working that way. So, but I still use TikTok anyway because it's a nice way to keep engaged. And yeah, the aim is to grow next year. I'll aim to get us more voice chats. I'll keep you guys in the loop, but if I get a Station Head channel, I'll put it on so we can talk to each other. And yeah, what else are we doing for next year? Maybe the same type of cycle. I can only react to news as they come. It's very reactive, but that is the way on TikTok. But not many of us are on TikTok. And there's not, I mean, again, if people want to use TikTok, fine, we can have lives there. But I've tried before, and a lot of people didn't attend, so it made me think. Yeah, think of other platforms, but I'll do that incrementally. Hey, Louise, hello, how are you? I'll do that incrementally, and yeah, the aim is growth next year. I really want us to use more voice features so we can talk to each other. But again, I don't know how many people are willing to move across platforms, or we can talk about it. I'll put a poll up. Well, maybe we can do more live watch together. I have a feeling we'll get more episodes of With Love Megan at some point. I don't know what time of the year is going to be, but I'm going to do it so that when the episodes come out, we can live watch together, you know. I'm sure Megan will have more podcasts and everything, more products. And yeah, I really want us to continue to interact. I want to quickly plug my new channel, N for Recaps. I want to clean this channel up so that the algorithm is very focused on Megan only. So I will be discussing anything not with Megan on N for Recaps. I've already put it on the post. I'll post it again. Guys, all I need your help subscribing. Please help me subscribe to that channel so that I can get to at least 1,000 subscribers. From there, I can start to do lives. I can start to monetize. Oh, thank you, Louise. I scheduled them. Oh, okay. I was scheduling them before, but people weren't coming. So I just thought, okay, let me just show up. Okay, what I'll do, because sometimes the lives, okay. What I'll do is, I can't always predict the lives, unfortunately, because of work and life. But what I'll do is, if I'm going to go live in the day, I will post it. I always post it, at least in a short, that guys, I'm going live later in the day. I'll try and go live at least twice a week. Again, depending on content, if there's nothing new, I'll reduce it to once. What else? Yeah. For now, guys, what I need your help with is please subscribe to N for Recaps. I'm going to post it in the chat. One sec, guys. Just so that, again, I want this particular channel to be focused on Megan. I think I've changed my mind now. I'm not going to be mixing up the content because I don't want to mess up the algorithm. Let me just put this M for Recaps. Yeah. Right now, I have 103 subscribers in M for Recaps. But guys, I know we can do better than that. That would be for people who want to hear me talk about anything that is not Megan. So this channel is going to be more around, we're going to be having conversations about other topics, really. Oh, sorry, guys. We're going to be talking about, like, I told you guys that I was interested in how the media question was being discussed. Why? Because it affects us. It affects us as content creators. You can't just say what you like. I've said this for a very long time. A lot of content creators take the piss. They talk about people anyhow. They don't think about people's, feelings. They don't think about. They don't think about, sorry guys, I'm trying to think about, yeah, they don't think about, please join this channel. So I'm posting this in the chat. Please support me and support this channel. It's my fault. I should have pinned it. So yeah, please support this channel. All you have to do is go on there and subscribe so I can get to at least 1,000 subscribers. This will help me so that I can start to monetize the channel so that we can do lives on that and discuss about topics that are not related to Megan, and again protect the algorithm so that people who want to come here for Megan content can get Megan content and the channel can continue to promote Megan content as well. And yeah, it's what needs to be done. But yeah, guys, I want to thank you again. And I keep on thanking you, but I will not be here without you. One user, one viewer, it doesn't matter. You are all so important to me. You've made you've helped us build a community, and next year we're going to focus on community building. That's why I said I want a platform for us to talk to each other so that you can feel like you're part of a community. I can see some of you are coming in the chat, you're making friends, I want to foster that, I want to bolster that. And the only way I can think of you guys helping me to support the channel is subscribe, share. I'm not even charging anybody for membership. I just want subscribe, share. If you can give a super chat, give. If you can't, that's okay. Helping me by subscribing helps. and promoting the channel. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. We've been here for 2 hours. Bloody hell! Wow, it's 8. Bloody hell! Wow. Thank you. It's 8 p.m. UK time. But I think it's well worth it for. I think it's well worth it for the Sussexes. They deserve the time. And yeah, thank you guys for all your support. And I want to wish everybody a happy new year. This has been a great year. I hope everybody has had a good year. I hope you've had a chance to achieve everything you've wanted to achieve. And if you haven't, be kind to yourself. Yeah, it's 8:27 p.m. Yeah. But if you haven't achieved everything you wanted to achieve, be kind to yourself. You are human. I tell people that, and I saw it on X. Did you have to go to the hospital? Did you have to stop working for your health? Were you able to get from January to December? You didn't fall sick, you didn't die, you know. That is a blessing. It's a blessing. And I'm grateful that I've been able to survive this long. And I'm grateful that everybody here has been able to survive this long. And I wish everybody, look, next year, we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to build our community. I wish everybody good health. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Don't forget that we are dealing with human beings in everything we do. Some people deserve to be dragged, yes. But a lot more times, let's try and give each other grace. And yeah, this is my prayer for everyone. My prayer for everyone is you have an even better 2026. You have good health. Don't forget that the past is done. You can't change the past. Whatever went wrong this year, it's in the back. It's gone. It's in the back. It's gone. Look to the future. They say the future is unwritten, and that's why the future inspires hope. The next year is a new chapter. How that chapter turns out is up to you. So whatever you couldn't achieve this year, aim to achieve it next year. Be kind to yourself and be optimistic for the new year. Focus on community, your health, your loved ones, your business, your jobs, whatever it is that makes you money. Focus on that. Your love, travel, exercise, yeah. And let's push on to the new year. So thank you all for your support. I will be doing a live on N4 recaps actually. I just started watching a TV show. That TV show is very steamy and I have some thoughts about it. So if you want to join my channel and come and watch me with my next live, I'm doing it today because I won't have to do it tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about a show. It's not a live, it's just I can't live yet. It's a recap of a show I started watching. So yeah, come and join me on the next channel. And thank you for all your support. Have a happy new year. Squaddies. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. See you on the other side. Bye.